kind of set. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. So we've got, I think I know who both of these players are. Both of these players are. All right, so let's make sure we've got everything together. Both of these players, Charlie's going to lead with Goblin Guide, a very strong turn one. Let's see if Ivan has a response to it, though. It is a pretty difficult card to beat, and we don't want to be taking too much damage, it seems. But looks like we're going to find a Tarmogoyf off the top with the Goblin Guide, and we're going to go ahead and get in for 2 here. Ooh, a second Goblin Guide. I think Ivan's going to have to respond to this. I think there's just like too much pressure, and the Tarmogoyf is not going to be big enough at this moment to kind of combat both these options. So, yeah, putting an incident in the graveyard is also pretty good for Ivan. Looks like he finds a Hymn to Torok off the top, but I don't know. Again, not sure if we're going to have enough time for that. Another 2, I don't know, another 3. Charlie looking to finish us off quickly. That is kind of the story with Burn. As a kind of aside, we're about to put up our metrics for the day. There are a lot of Burn decks in the event today. And like somewhere in the number of like 6 or 7 decks out of the 50 that have arrived today. So this Tarmogoyf is a 2... Oh, it's a 3/4 currently, I believe. Oh, it's a 4/5. We have creature, instant, land, sorcery. Excellent. Okay, cool. This is probably going to be an Eidolon on the Great Revel from Charlie, correct? Yep, it is. Kind of actually a huge threat on its own. Difficult for Ivan to interact with, except for with Abrupt Decay. I guess Fatal Push, if he's playing it. I've got to look at his deck list. I haven't had a chance quite yet. Actually, it does not look like he's playing Fatal Push in the main. Is skewing it for just like some of the regular value cards that you would normally see in Shardless. But Charlie goes and takes 2 there, but knocks Ivan to 9. Let's see what happens. Charlie thinking, he's got 2 cards, so he can't tank too hard. Probably thinking about an attack, has another Eidolon in hand, is going to actually cast it pre-combat. I think that may be really good. Although, oh, he has 2 Eidolons. Kind of going to put Ivan under the gun. I mean, he's got an Ancestral Vision that's going to resolve next turn. So, all right. So Charlie takes 2 from his Eidolon. Abrupt Decay on the in response, Ivan says. Sure. And then is Charlie going to get another one in play? That's what he's got. Oh, well, it looks like he's. I'm pretty sure it was another Eidolon. Looks like Ivan is going to take 5, or ooh, Price of Progress on the stack. Looks like Ivan loses there. Yep, that's kind of how it works. That was a Price of Progress, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering what I saw or missaw. So Burn takes game 1 in quick fashion, in pretty dominating fashion, in fact. So. We're going to go ahead and move to the sideboards here. Didn't even get a lot of chance to talk about these main boards. Shardless Sultai being one of the decks that kind of had a resurgence after a lot of the Delve cards got banned. Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise. Like after that whole like kind of metagame, which lasted for roughly about 3 or 4 months, really 5 months at most. Shardless kind of like rose back to the top, and now it's kind of found itself in the middle of the field. It's still a very, very strong deck. Plays just some of the best threats in the format, as well as Ancestral Vision and. Kind of hard to beat that, and Planeswalkers. It's one of the Shardless decks that has like an aggressive slant to an extent, plus Planeswalkers, which is really good. Clearly, Charlie on Burn, no introduction needed. So let's just jump into the sideboards. Ivan on this side, he's got in his sideboard 2 Surgical Extraction, a Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Dread of Night. He also has 1 Umezawa's Jite, 1 Sylvan Library, 1 Guruk Relentless, 2 Fatal Push, 1 Null Rod, 1 Knight of Soul's Betrayal. 1 Engineered Plague, another Hymn to Torok to finish off his set. No, just 1 more Hymn to Torok, 1 Toxic Deluge, and 1 Maelstrom Pulse. So a lot of these could definitely come in. I foresee Umezawa's Jite being a primary candidate. Excellent in creature matchups, which part of Burn kind of is. Like it gets a lot of its resiliency from hasty creatures like Goblin Guide, Monastery, Swift Spear, Eidolon of the Great Revel. And then also just good at gaining life, clearly. So We want Umezawa's GT. We're probably also going to look at Fatal Push coming in. I don't foresee him to Turok being too high up on Ivan's list, but we might want to board out a lot of things like the Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseizes are fine, but Force of Wills for sure we don't really want. We can't afford to 2-for-1 ourselves too much in this matchup. But that being said, we could see a little bit of a different sideboard option from him, but Umezawa's GT and Fatal Push are almost assuredly coming in. Now, as for Charlie, Smash the Smithereens, I mean, if he knows, he has to imagine that his opponent is on Shardless. He led with Ancestral Vision, which means he definitely has artifacts in his deck, so these 3 Smash the Smithereens could be very useful. We've also got 2 Searing Blood, 2 Sulfuric Vortex, 4 Exquisite Firecraft, 2 Sulfur Elemental, and a Volcanic Fallout. Of these, I imagine Smash the Smithereens is one of the better options if Charlie manages to kind of like piece it together that his opponent is also playing artifact creatures. And then the Searing Blood, probably not. It doesn't kill Tarmogoyfs, so probably not. And then Sulfuric Vortex, I do kind of see that coming in. I think that's excellent, actually. Exquisite Firecraft, this isn't quite the matchup for it, but maybe. We'll see. All right, so it looks like our players are going to go ahead and shuffle up, get each other, talk to each other a little bit about like what the matchup's about, and then get moving. So yeah. All right, so a lot of info coming at you guys pretty soon. We're just getting some of this stuff together. So we got Swamp into Deathrite Shaman, a very strong start from Ivan, whereas Charlie does not have a turn 1 creature. So could prove kind of difficult for Charlie to deal with unless we kind of round it out pretty soon. But Ivan's going to go ahead and fetch. I imagine he's going to get a basic here, basic forest, but I could be wrong. Just kind of mitigating as much damage as you can from Price of Progress, but looks like we're going to get a Lily. What is this? Ooh, a Leovold. All right, Leovold excellent in this matchup. So I take it all back. This is typically this is considered a really bad matchup for Shardless, but that does not seem to be the case here right now. He's drawn a lot of the cards that are very, very good in the matchup instead. Flame Rift, both players. Wow. Okay, well. Looks like 15-13, 15-12, maybe? 15-12, my apologies. All right. Wait, what's happening? I'm sorry, I did get this mixed up. There we go. Okay, so Swiss Spear is coming into play right now. Got the life totals correct, my apologies. Ooh, Chain Lightning to the face. Draws a card from it first. Oh, and it's oh, that's really good. So what do we do with this Chain Lightning, though? Drew Umezawa's GT off of the Leovold. 1 mana, Brainstorm. All right, let's see what we yield. See if we can strike gold. Doesn't look like it. 2 more lands for Ivan. He probably just wants to put those at the top, right? Okay, and then he has a Force of Will. It would prevent 1 of these damage, and I think Mr. Deathrite might have to jump in front of... Oh no, Ivan takes it. Wow, so Ivan's going to 3 here. Kind of a bold move, but... Alright, puts Charlie to 10. Looks like Charlie has an effect on end step. This might be Fire Blast. Oh, fair enough. Charlie definitely has Fire Blast. He kind of, at the very least, made it seem like he did. See how this goes. But Ivan's already drawn 2 cards off of this Leovold, so fairly good already. Ooh. All right, we're suited up. Yeah, Charlie reading the text on Umezawa's GTA. Really good in this matchup, as we mentioned. It looks like Fire Blast is happening right now. It's gonna draw a card first off of the Fire Blast, and then yeah, it looks like Ivan's gonna go ahead and force a will here. Go to 2. Pitching Shardless Agent. Okay, sure. Yep, that's gonna connect. Puts Charlie to 7. 2 counters. He's gonna use it now, probably. Looks like he's gonna gain 4 life. Just go to 6, sure. And it looks like Ivan actually has a fail push in his hand, so oh, but no land to go with it. But I guess he could just block here. I think that might end up being the plan, just to preserve his life total, because at this point the Umezawa GTA is definitely gonna ride him to victory. But looks like Charlie hit a bit of a brick wall. He's going to Chain Lightning Leovold. Yeah. Chain Lightning Leovold. Draws a card first. Leovold dies. Okay, fair enough. Oh, right. Thank you for pointing that out, R. Jorgensen. So yeah, I think this is going to meet a fatal push. Yep. Yeah, we're going to go on to game 2. Charlie fell under the pure card quality that Ivan was presenting, so definitely very good on both players. I mean, just to kind of like recognize their positions in the game, and you know, being on the play clearly gave Ivan a huge advantage. So moving on to game 3 over here, but I don't think Charlie was incorrect in fire blasting there. I think he needed to do something. But yeah, that Leovold just drew way too many cards. It looks like we're going on to game 3. Let's see. Make sure I'm getting all these. There's quite a lot of really interesting decks out there today. I mean, most of these are format staples, but the format is just really diverse right now. I think it's a testament to how resilient it is, how obviously diverse it is in general. But the legacy format is looking really good for when we transfer over to, or not transfer over to, I should say, but when we move on to Grand Prix Las Vegas. So that's going to be pretty good, I think. Wow, there's 7 burn decks in the room today. That is an incredible amount of burn. In fact, I think that's almost too much burn, but a lot of people would disagree with me, I think. The players are just kind of suiting up, but like Ivan definitely, pulled it out there. Had a bit on the, a bit on the edge, but we got there, I think. Whereas with our red player, with our burn player, he was like 1 spell short. That's basically what it came down to. Because even if Ivan kind of like makes it out alive there, like he has to face down quite a lot of damage, and gaining the 4 life off of the GTA was huge. Clearly, I mean, I don't think we need to kind of go into that, but yeah, I think Charlie just had like maybe 1 or 2 more spells. Also, Ivan played that fairly methodically, at a point where he was just like taking 3 damage here, 3 damage here, 3 damage there. Like he was just really patient with his force of will, so kind of rewarded for that. So let's see what our competitors are almost about getting started here, and I think with our feature match, kind of like moving forward, I don't. They may have just brought in more of the same, and like I think Charlie now, having seen Shardless Agent, will want to bring in the Smash and Smithereens if he already hasn't. But there's like a lot of different things that he could potentially bring in, and then even it's kind of interesting. I did say again, like with Ivan, like maybe he didn't want the Force of Will, but obviously it was exceptional there. I think the permission is a little bit more important than like the card, just because he has more sources of card advantage than Charlie does, and as long as he can stay, at parity or a little ahead on cards, it doesn't matter if he's 2-for-1ing himself. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. Goblin Guide, turn 1. Oh my goodness. That's how the red player wants to play, I guess. Looks like we're gonna Fatal Push here. Gonna miss out on a couple damage here before the Eidolon resolves, but that's okay. And we also miss out on a card, technically. We'll see. Looks like Ivan's got a bunch of options. Also has the basic forest in his hand, which is pretty good. He's gonna set up a roadblock. He's gonna take 2. Land, creature, instant. So it's a 3/5 or 3/4. Sorry. Let's see. Ooh, double Eidolon. This might actually prove very difficult for even Charlie to come back from, though, is the problem being, like, this Tarmogoyf is going to just sit there and, it's going to do its work. And every burn spell from Charlie does 3 damage, but he's going to be taking 4 instead. So I guess at a certain point, the life totals will meet each other, but Ivan will die first, is what I'm gonna guess, if that's the plan. But Charlie, oh man, if he flame rifts, that's actually worse for him than it is for Charlie. Takes 8 from his own flame rift, goes to 12. But let's see what he does. He has spike. I think that's 2 spikes. 2 lava spikes. Spike you, trigger. All right, well, putting Ivan to 10. Spike again, trigger. This is looking to be one of those games, I guess. Eidolon exceptional in these kinds of matchups in general. Like Shardless Sultai likes to take a little bit of its time, likes to set up a lot of like explosive turns, but it's casting a lot of spells in one turn, so the burn deck kind of capitalizes on that because any amount of setup is good for the Eidolon player. Charlie taps out. I think he's passing turn, and Ivan is thinking, do I really want to take 4 to Fatal Push here? He may not have a choice. But he'll go to 3, and he doesn't have a backup plan, it looks like. Yeah, Ivan deep in the tank. This is not an easy choice. Yeah, he decides just to go to draw step. May end up being a big deal, but I guess we'll see. see. Yeah, like Ivan just really not sure what to do here. There's just like too many things that could go wrong with any plan, any line he chooses to take. Really, really unfortunate. But Charlie's not under. I mean, Charlie doesn't have infinite time either. But I guess is this exquisite firecraft in Charlie's hand? Wow. Wow, and it's uncounterable. So that's gonna put Ivan to 3, and then Charlie to 8. So Charlie may actually have an attack here too. Put Ivan to 1. That seems. Yeah. Oh no? What? I'm sorry. I guess I must have missed some damage elsewhere, or added damage elsewhere. I'm sorry. There was like an Eidolon trigger that should not have been. So. And Charlie is actually at 6. This is looking very, very grim for Ivan. He's going to need to figure it out, but it does not seem very likely from this position. Looks like yeah, he's in a rough spot. He like can't cast a spell, he dies to Eidolons. I mean, he doesn't die immediately, but basically dies because then Charlie can crack in, steal 2 points of damage and win the game. And Ivan just got a grip full of removal and just not enough. I think the turn where he played Tarmogoyf was the turn that killed him, because when he pushed the Goblin Guide, he could have untapped, he could have passed the turn, and then Abrupt Decayed the first Eidolon. Oh man, yeah. It seems like that's where the game turned. I could be wrong. Charlie, however, I don't even know if he can cast this. It doesn't look like he can cast this Monastery Swiftspear, but probably afraid to GM in, yeah. What is Ivan gonna do? Oh my goodness. Let's see how Charlie chooses to respond here. I mean, he doesn't really have to do too much. Let's see. Goyf is a little larger now because of artifacts. It's a 4/5. Our player is discussing punting with the Tarmogoyf power toughness, but really not that big a deal. I don't feel, just kind of jawing at each other. But looks like Charlie's gonna go for something here. Seems a little risky at 2. You never know. Yep. Oh, Charlie goes to 2, I should say. 2 triggers, right? Puts Ivan to 2. Yeah, Ivan's got nothing. Yeah, looks like it. All right, Charlie takes game 3, and congrats to him. It's a pretty solid win. It is a great matchup for Burns, so we'll kind of see we kind of got to see a little bit of the sideboard from Ivan, but not this game. We only saw Fatal Push in Game 3, and it clearly was not enough. So we're going to go switch over to commercial very quickly, you guys, and then get you guys another match.